This year's stewardship theme is What Shall We Bring? And here to share with us a little bit about this year's stewardship season is Kathy Stewart. That's for you, Kathy. Good morning.
Good morning.
Kathy, can you tell folks who do not know you here how long you've been a member at NorthPark?
Oh, yes. So we got these questions in advance, just so you know. Rob and I looked and thought, and the best number we can come up with is 30 years. So it must have been right after the congregation moved into this beautiful facility.
Okay. And did your children attend the day school?
Yes.
Here, did they?
Yes, all three attended the day school, and that was our connection. You all may remember the Byerly family. The Byerlys kept saying, come to church, and so we did.
Wonderful. Reflecting on the idea of blessing from today's scripture, I wonder how have you seen blessing play out here at NorthPark?
That is something I could probably stand up here forever and talk about. This church has meant a lot to our family. It's meant everything to our family. Rob and I raised our family here. All of our children are now adults, and two of them have their own children. But I think as I looked back and tried to figure out a way to sort of organize my thoughts, I thought about the great days, the celebration days, the days that you all celebrated with us, Mary Claire's baptism, Cecilia's wedding, Robbie's wedding. You guys were here, and those were the best of days, right? And then there are the ordinary days, days like today. You think of all of the time that we've been in this space together and worshiped together. Worship is so meaningful to me and to our family. Sunday school time, Rob and I have taught, you all have taught. Think of all that we've taught, but also all that we've learned. And I think Rob and I were overwhelmed thinking about that. Bible studies, mission work, vacation Bible school, fellowship dinners, Easter egg hunts. I mean, it goes on and on. There's so many wonderful ordinary times, really, and that's repeated itself. And from all of those experiences, the Lord has blessed the Stewart family. It's blessed all of you, I think. Our faith has grown, right? We are different people than when we walked in the door 30 years ago. I think we have a different and stronger faith than we did when we first came. And so I think that is the Lord working through all of you and through this congregation and staff to bless the Stewarts. The Stewarts have been very blessed. And then I have to go to the hard days. And Nicole, you were there on one of the hardest weeks when Rob Sr. was diagnosed with COVID, and Rob and Molly really needed you. And this woman was there every step of the way. So many times during each day that week, Nicole reached out. One other moment I'll share is when Mary Claire was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. She was 8. We were in the emergency room at Children's, and she looked at Rob and me and she said, "Is the church coming?" You know, that's when your children ask you these questions and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. But without Rob and I making a call, probably in about 10 or 15 minutes, Sally Brown came through that door. She hugged our necks, as she would say. She prayed with us, and the church was there. And that meant a lot at a very hard time. So this church has been a tremendous blessing. I think your next question might be, then what do we do with that once we have those many blessings?
Yeah.
And I think all of you in this room, I see your faces. You've all responded, right? We've all cared for each other. The Lord has blessed us. And so we have then in turn blessed others. And so you've served as elders. You've been Sunday school teachers and vacation Bible school teachers. You've done mission work. You've gone with the youth on mission trips, right, Jan? That wasn't too hard to recruit people to go with you. But I think that's where we are today. It's a time to think about that. You need to look at your life where you are and what you have to give. You know, even if you're ushering, you're a caretaker that day of the worship service. Mm-hmm. And so think of it that way. Think of ways that you can be a caretaker. And I'll just skip right on to the nuts and bolts.
Can I preface? So Kathy is the chair of the Stewardship and Administration Committee, so she's going to get to the money now. So, yeah. Thank you.
Because you guys somehow have elected me, right, to be that caretaker. It is this whole committee's job, but with Kambiza's help and Nicole's help and so many people, we are here today to kick off Stewardship. It is that season. And so hopefully you've received your pledge card in the mail, and if you haven't, there's some out on the desk, front desk. And then next week, we really encourage you to come to the Stewardship Luncheon. This is something we haven't been able to have for several years because of COVID. So please consider signing up for that. We'll have lunch and just talk about life in this church and answer questions. And Kambiz will have a fabulous PowerPoint, as he always does. No pressure, Kambiz. And then the 30th will be the day that you bring your pledge and you make your pledge. And so please be prayerful about that and thoughtful about that and find a way that you can be a caretaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you.